Afternoon everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a quick tour of the tunnel, show you what I've got growing, show you what I've started, show you what's in the ground, show you what's nearly ready to go. It's only April, it feels a little bit warmer, but here we go. Now before we do dive in, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background about the Polytunnel, where it came from, what the ideas were behind it. Now a couple of years ago I bought a cheap 3x2 greenhouse off of eBay, well one of those green covered polytunnels. Just as a way to try and start growing maybe some tomatoes or some peppers in the garden. It lasted 5 minutes. It just blew away. Actually, I got a photo of that just up here. Now I thought that's no good. I'll get a bigger one, right? Because a bigger one will probably be a little bit more sturdy. So I did. I got a 6 meter by 3 meter one. Put it in the ground. Now the problem with this garden is it's an angle, so the front was at the right height, and the back had to be like actually dug in a little bit, so it'd be level. And it was actually a lot more sturdy, partially because it is buried into the ground, and another thing I did, I actually staked it into the ground as well, so it didn't go anywhere. It's pretty stable. The cover fit well. But the only problem was because it was dug into the ground, it's quite low. So every time I went in and out, I had to like duck just to get anywhere. I couldn't grow anything tall in there anyway, which is like defeats the object if you're trying to grow peppers or tomatoes. I mean, it got a lot of use for other things as well. A couple of years ago, we had the first few flock downs, like where we had to house the chickens. They came inside. Whilst they were, I think, growing in the winter. They did quite a good job actually of digging it all up for me. But it's just no good. And it's no good. The green cover was like pretty rubbish. I mean, we ended up with holes in it left, right and centre. There's rips along like some of the metal edges where there wasn't like heat tape. So I thought, right, enough's enough. Let's rip it apart and start rebuilding a new one. I bought some timbers. I made up a little frame, about 3 meters by about 50 centimeters. Skirted it with the polycarbonate. A couple of them. Put them in on the ground, and basically put the frame on top of it. This one's also staked a foot or so into the ground just to give it a bit more rigidity. And it's been up for about a year now, so we've had some gales over the last couple of months. Hasn't moved, so I think, yeah. So the tunnel is still buried a little bit at the back. I'll show you that in a minute. It stands around about 2.5 meters now, or like at the maximum at the front. So it's just legal. But yeah, I think I'll get away with it. The tomatoes can grow nice and tall now. I'd like the idea of vertical gardening, so let's go upwards. Now the raised wooden base also prevents some moisture issues. It's allowing better, what's the word? Better airflow underneath. Right, I suppose we better go and have a look round then. Come on then, let's go see the tomatoes first. Oh. So I've done selection, a few different types. Pretty much all vining, I think, although I might have a bush. What's that one there? So I'm not sure whether the sweet million, the cherry ones, whether they're bush out or whether they will vine. I should imagine they will. Because I'm sure I did like that last year. But here we go. So, number 1. I'm doing a honeycomb variety. Apparently it's really sweet. I've got 3 of those on the go. The sweet millions, so yeah, they're the bushy ones, maybe, but I'm growing them as vines. First of the dark type, indigo rose. These are supposed to be like a really nice blacky purple brown colour. Obviously red on the inside, but black on the outside. Black moon here as well. So yeah, all up there. My mainstay, the gardener's delight. So I've got, what have I got? 5 plants on that side, and actually around here I've got another 3. So that keeps going for tomato sauces and whatnot. Now, in between the rows of tomatoes, I've also got some marigolds in. Petite marigolds. So that should keep some of the nasty bugs away. We'll see. So yeah, black and reds, and yellows and oranges. I quite like different colours, different shapes. They should all have a different flavour as well. So, hope for the best, see what happens. Now, these indeterminate or vine varieties should continue producing flowers and fruit until at least the early frost. Well, the first frost, sorry. Yeah, it should give us a good steady supply of tomatoes throughout the summer and into autumn. Now, what I will do to encourage them to grow upwards, I will be removing, if I can see one on there, yeah, come on, I shall be removing all the side shoots. I've already done a good side shoot pick already. I think we've got one there, so I should be removing some of those just to encourage them to grow upwards rather than outwards. Now, the pepper variety I'm doing this year are Asties. They're sweet peppers. So a nice colourful mix of bells, reds, oranges and yellows. So I've also done the baskets of fire. They're like lots of little chilly ones. 80,000 Scoville apparently, but they'll do. Carrying on past the peppers, I've got some bits that have been over winter. Some onions, which a cabbage, which I've been taking the larger leaves off to give to the chickens, which they've been enjoying. It's just basically like trying to keep something in the ground, keep the ground working over winter. So what I'll do, I should be taking all that out, and that's where my cucumber is going to be going, and maybe some more melons. Now, speaking of melons, this will be one of my favourite additions this year. I'm going to do a few different types of melon. I've got, what's it, Hell's Best, I think that's like a sort of cantaloupe type of thing, and I'm doing some honeydews as well. So the ones in the ground at the moment are my sacrificial ones. I always do too many, so I can try these things, put them in early, see how they do. And I've also got my spares here for there we do. I've got some nice spares ones here in my yogurt pots, which are doing absolutely fine. They've been on the heated bed. They can stay on there until needed. So yes, my other ones are honeydews. Same again with those. Sacrificial ones in the ground. And more there just in case. So again, I've just got marigolds everywhere this year. It'll help with the pollinators. Yeah, bring a little bit of colour as well. And in case they die or got eaten by something nasty, I've got spares of those as well. And more somewhere else. What do I do with them? Oh yeah, some more there. Succession. Now, here's the cucumbers. Waiting to go in. Or waiting for me to clear that area. So they won't be long. And what else have I got here? I've got a few salads there that are setting off. Now over here we have my homemade warm grow box, built using a shed door as a base. It's filled with builder sand and has a soil heating cable running through it to gently provide heat on the bottom. So obviously like that bottom heat will encourage strong root development and hopefully steady growth for seedlings and tender plants. I like to start as many of my own seeds as I can. I don't really like buying plants from garden centres. It feels like a bit of a cheat, but everyone's allowed to cheat, but you know, I'd rather get it right myself. Yeah, really, it just allows me to grow speciality varieties, like things like peppers I've just shown you, some eggplants maybe. Last year, I did loofahs last year, but you know, it's also cheaper than buying them from a nursery. So you know, I could get seed packets, like maybe 4,000 seeds in a packet for a couple of quid, and at least hundreds. And like down the nursery, what are you going to pay, about £2–3 a plant? More? The whole point really is just to keep the plants happy until we get consistent growing temperatures. So although to be honest, it only really gets turned off maybe 3 or 4 months of the year. But then all over winter is lovely for me salads. Right, well that's it then. That is the end of my little introduction to the polytunnel. Yeah, it's definitely a budget unit, but why not? Why not? I mean, I bought some timber and I bought some cover for it, but you know, for the size it is, it's going to do a really good job over a long time. I'm also really happy that I've managed to recycle some stuff as well, because that's pretty much the point of it all. There's polycarbonate sheets, bits of old wood, and all my old cupboards I use, or the frames. Yeah, it's all recycled. I'm not really a gardener, but you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Who knows? I might be one by the end of it. Anyway, thanks for coming. Hopefully see you again sometime.